Yo, man, Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it.
Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks Real Talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that you don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, with the side. But I just rob you on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in 10 boots. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base like the links, Anthony Mace. We trace the logo when there's airspace that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 decks on the court, looking pretty legit. I say true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here, I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Yo, salute everyone. Salute. What's good, everybody? Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it in the building, man. It's the post-game recap. We about to get it popping, go over this Knicks game last night against some Milwaukee Bucks. Kind of fell victim down there in Milwaukee last night, man. Giannis and them pretty much gave us a good game last night. Gave us a business a little bit. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. The box scores, the plus minuses, man, the pros and cons. Things we liked, we didn't like. With a lot of interesting things went on last night. So I really want to get into talk about that, man. So we're gonna get into everything, analyze everything, and just realize, like, you know what, we went up amongst the creme de la creme, as we would say. And they pretty much see why they had championship team with championship aspirations again, because they were pretty dominant down there last night. But I think we still fought and scrapped pretty hard. Before I get into all that, man, salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Core, Mega Canal, Will, my man, salute Will. Everybody, man, Shop Power, salute to you. I hope the brother be in later on. But yeah, man, it was they was in it for a minute, and then we got lax on the defense. I think that's what we lost the game at on the defense end last night. I seen some plays that I didn't like, some switching that wasn't necessary. But you got to give them credit, man. They front line had it going for them, and just like I thought in the pregame, like we knew that Drew Holiday was going to be a problem. But that kid is a good defender. We knew Giannis and Brook Lopez were going to defend pretty well last night. But I just think our defense didn't bring 100% last night. It showed in the box score the way Grayson Allen was knocking down threes like crazy. So, I just thought it was an overall a pretty good performance by our defense. And obviously it tells in the box score about the amount of points that we gave up. So we got to definitely rebound off that and get our defense back to get sound, man. But overall, they fought and scrapped and everything. So we can't be mad at that. We just got to hope we fight to live another day. Shop House, what's good, brother?
What's going on, Divine? Salute to you. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. You doing all right, though?
Yeah, I'm okay. I got the fam over and stuff like that. So all the kids is running around and jumping around. So I try to get a couple of minutes in to get on the pod.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you taking that time out, real talk. But yeah, overall last night, man, this was a tough game last night for the Knicks defensively. The Cats had a lot going on last night. I like the way it was competing, but it just didn't have enough when it got to the get down. Our starting lineup just didn't have it last night. They was all like a minus type thing. The bench played pretty well, but our guy definitely fell short on the defense end last night. They gave up 119, and Milwaukee was holding everybody to 97 points this year. We broke 108, so that's encouraging. But I just thought that we didn't bring our A game on the defense. How that they kind of hurt us a little bit.
Yeah, I was saying last night, man, it was a race to 100 last night. First team to 100 will win the game. And unfortunately, last night, Milwaukee got to that 100 before we did. We were in the game pretty much the whole game, man, but their offensive rebounds was killing us, man. We didn't push pace. We didn't grab rebounds, and we didn't hit free throws. That killed us. That's what lost us a game. We were in the game with Julius Randle playing bad, with Brunson playing bad, even with the terrible third quarter that we had. We were still in the game in the fourth quarter, and what really killed us was not pushing the pace, rebounding the ball, especially on the offensive end. Like I said yesterday, we had the offensive defensive rebound. We didn't do offensive rebounding yesterday, and we didn't hit our free throws. We missed about 10 or 11 free throws from the line that could have possibly even got us close in the game, either evening up the points or going up by one. So those are the things that we had to work on and stuff. Did Tibbs leave the starting unit in a little long? Yeah, he could have. Could he made some earlier substitutions? Yeah, he could have. Did Mitchell Robinson get in foul trouble yesterday early? Yes, he did. Did Hardenstein come in the game and play pretty good defense and kind of kept us in the game? Yeah, he kind of did. So, it was a couple of things. We had some players on the bench that didn't really perform either. Cam Reddish didn't really come out and play as great a basketball that I wanted him to play yesterday. D Rose came off the bench smoking. IQ played a very well game yesterday. And Obi Toppin played also a pretty good game yesterday. So is it a possibility that we could have probably stayed in the game a little bit longer with the second unit? It's possible. But that Lopez guy, man, he killed us in offense. Them second chance points that we lost by last night. And towards the end of the game, we kind of evened up the scoring, the box scores and stuff like that with the rebound and stuff like that. But in one quarter, they out-rebounded us. In that third quarter, they offensive rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, was 12. I think it was 11 or 12 offensive rebounds to none. We got murdered in that third quarter, man. So, kudos to the Knicks, though, for still staying in the game, for still only losing by about 8 or 9 points. They played a hard game, but that Milwaukee team, Bucks team was they're a big team, man, and it's impossible to stop Giannis, man. You give Giannis a running start, it is virtually impossible to stop him. And he's either gonna knock you down and get the foul, knock you down, score the basket and get the foul, or get to the free throw line and possibly hit 2 free throws on you. So he's a big he is an all-star, no question about that.
Yeah, real talk, man. Hey, 2-time MVP. The man is legit, man. But what was interesting to me was, that right before the half, I think we had a chance to tie the game. And I'm gonna tell you something, people. That little baseline shot that RJ missed, that's a hard shot to do. That little floater where he could have tied it up. And once he missed that shot, they went on like an 8-something run. He turned a 2-point tie up to an 8-point their lead. But that little baby shot right there, usually that's a shot you want to throw off the backboard because he was on the side angle. That's a hard shot to make, man. Believe it or not, man. I think not only RJ, anybody. Sometimes you don't got a really good touch to your game. But overall, I think one of the big keys to me last night was when Mitchell Robinson got 4 fouls. I think Tibbs should have left him in because he kind of had the defense back in sync. That was interesting to me last night when Mitch picked up that 4th foul. I said, man, they playing pretty good right now in the defense, and they were starting to come back. And I was wondering, like, Tibbs, just let him stay in. If you get the 5th foul, and you take him out, whatever, then you can take him out the whole 4th. So that was really interesting to me when that moment. Though Mitch was in and out of the game all day because of foul trouble, but I thought that was one time when he got that 4th foul. I'm like, just leave him in there. What the hell? Because they playing good. So and it happens, But I thought that was a key turning point to the game. Then obviously, that second unit was balling, man. Before they got us back in the game, and I was like, I wonder how Tibbs feel if he just let the starter just sit for now. Hey, man, we got 70-something more games left. And the bench was pretty much rolling, and let him play a little more longer. And sure enough, soon that starting unit came back in. Bang! Because they just didn't have it. It's no knock on the first unit. At least that night, Shy Power, they didn't have it. You know what I mean? That's really all it was. But the first unit had it going. The second unit had it going pretty good within that span. I think it was right around to get that game close to 11 to 8 points. And then after that, I think when Julius came back in, and they just kind of ramped them up with it. So we live to fight another day. We got Cleveland tomorrow, but I still like the grit in that team though. I do like the grit in them. They didn't back. They didn't give up. They just couldn't get over the hump. And obviously, you playing a dominant team like that, it happens. But I think when Milwaukee comes to the Garden, it'll be a different scenario. I believe that And I thought that we was on it. And you think about this here, bad as RJ shot from three. Can you imagine if his three shot was popping? We probably would have beat them dudes last night. You know what I mean?
It was a couple of things, like with Brunson having a bad game, with Randall having a bad game, with Mitch being in foul trouble, with RJ not doing anything in the first half. At halftime, we was still in the game. I kept saying all day 3 points because I still believe that 3-pointer that Jalen Brunson shot at the half was a basket, but we were only down by 6 points going into halftime, man. And with all of those guys having bad games, and at the half, and still taking it, that third quarter killed us, man. That's what it really was. The things that that I was talking about yesterday, man, they just didn't do. They didn't push no pace, they didn't grab no rebounds, and they didn't hit no free throws, man. I mean, I'm saying that in blunt form. I mean, they hit free throws yesterday, but they didn't. They missed about 10 or 11 free throws. Of course, they grabbed rebounds yesterday, but the rebounds that they at halftime they were out rebound by, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 14 rebounds, man, 12, 14 rebounds. Coming back, at the end of the game with all the box scores in. It looked pretty close. You know what I mean? The rebounds, they didn't push the ball. The assists were down. The 3-point shot was down. You know what I mean? So it's just the little things that they have to tweak. And they really schemed for the New York Knicks, man. They put that guy Carter on Brunson, which is a defensive terror. The guy from college was, if I'm not mistaken, was in college. He was something I was looking up about him today. I wish I was really home. He was Carter, the guy on Milwaukee. He was in some type of all defensive team, and either was in college or some type of G League or something like that. The guy plays hard defense, and he played gritty defense on Brunson last night. You know what I mean? We had a chance to win. If we could have got out and pushed the pace, those guys were running. They got out to an early lead. I think they were up like 8-1 or something like that on us. And they just continued to, kept going. And that I just say, Giannis, if your back is not to the rim when Giannis is coming down and he gets a running start, he is going to either get fouled and score the basket, or get fouled and hit some free throws. The guy's a monster, man.
Yeah, real talk. Like I said, you got to give them credit, man. That's a really good defensive team. And like I said, they held everybody under 97 points this year so far. So even for us to break 108, and with our team not even shooting good, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. We scored 108 and we weren't even shooting good, man. And so that's just a testament to them and the way they make your schemes go the other way. The scheme that you was wanting to run, that defense makes it go the other way. Because like I said, Drew Holiday is a big guard. He's tall, he's strong. And and he gave Evan Fournier some problems, and then Carter gave Brunson some problems. RJ had a pop in the second half. Good bounce back by him, though. He didn't let the 3-point shooting bother too much. He came back in that second half and really helped us out get there. What was interesting to me, Sharp Howard, is that Emmanuel quickly came in that game, and really him and Derrick Rose and Obi Toppin. Obi 3 ball looking pretty good this year, man. I got to give him his props. But just like Tibbs say, RJ, he not worried about RJ. RJ always start out so like we always say. But man, we could have used some of them 3-pointers last night, even 2 of them. You know what I mean, or something. But he starts off slow, but he need to go in the gym after he have a shoot night like that. Like Tibbs, go work on your groove. Like Tibbs say, after something, he want to see him go back in the gym that same night or the next day and work on your groove. You know what I mean, and put the extra work in to get out of that shooting type of slump that he in from 3-point. But remember, not last year, the year before, he went 1 for 50, something like that at the beginning of the year from 3. But he wound up
36, 7 points, something like that. Yeah.
Right. He was. So we kind of familiar with that, and people just got to remember he wasn't known as a shooter coming out of college. That was he wasn't. We didn't draft RJ to be a shooter because he wasn't a shooter in college. He's just a scorer. But I think that mentality showed last night, and he got back in that third quarter, scored like 13 points. And really kept us in the game. And then I like the way Derrick Rose and quickly, like I said, Obi Toppin and that three ball, that stroke looking money when he on. He really looking good with that, man. So it is what it is, man. We took the L. We kind of said it could go either way. We knew that the Knicks weren't going to walk in there and beat them guy like that, but I just knew that when you're going against teams like that who hungry, who got aspiration to win a championship, you're going to get some of their best punches. And we sure enough got some of their best punches last night. But it's fine. It's only one game. We 3-2. We just got a tough task tomorrow against Cleveland tomorrow. That's going to be a real interesting game tomorrow, man. Donovan Mitchell, them guys. But let's look at the real quick. Look at the box scores and everything, man. We talk about it, chat and everybody. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Salute to everybody. Marcus, Nick 100, Cash Out, Ill Matrix, everybody. Salute Canal. Salute to everybody. But if you look at our numbers last night overall, Randall 31 minutes, 3 for 10 from the field. 0 for 2 from 3-point line, shot pretty well at the charity stripe. 12 rebounds. He rebounded the ball, 2 assists. Usually you want to see him get that up. 1 steal. He was a minus 14 with 14 points. That's definitely not a Julius Randle game from that perspective. But like I said, he's going up against Giannis all night. Mitchell Robinson, 20 points. 20 minutes. I apologize. 2 for 5 field goals. 1 for 2 for the charity stripe. He had 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks. Both of them on Giannis. He was a minus 7 with 5 points. You definitely want to see him get them point numbers up last night, but he was in foul trouble, so you can expect that. Jalen Brunson, 33 minutes, 3 from 10, 1 for 4 from downtown, 6 for 9 from the charity stripe. He kind of fell victim at the charity stripe last night. He missed 3, but he still gained 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He was a minus 19, 13 points. That's definitely not a Jalen Brunson game from the first 4 games of the season. Evan Fournier, 20 minutes, 4 from 12. 3 from 7 downtown, 4 rebounds, no assists, 2 turnovers, minus 22, 11 points. Evan Fournier definitely didn't have it last night, and that's interesting to see how that's going to be moving forward the way quickly and all these guys are playing on grind to get back. So we'll talk about that down the line. RJ, 36 minutes, 7 for 17, 1 for 7 for downtown, 5 from 8 from the charity stripe, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He had 20 points. He was a minus 8. So that second half really propelled him to keep a low minus, but that first half pretty much was abysmal for him. Then you look at Toppin. Toppin has some pretty decent 17 minutes, 4 field goals, 4 out of 7, 3 from 5 downtown, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 3, 11 points, all in 17 minutes. Cam Reddish didn't have a good night last night at all. 1 for 5, 0 for 2 from downtown, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, minus 3, only 2 points. His energy wasn't there last night, for sure. Harkenstein, 28 minutes, 3 for 8, 0 for 1 from downtown. He only 8 rebounds, excuse me. He had 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. He didn't do bad. Minus 5. He only had 6 points last night. Sims definitely didn't do nothing last night. Derrick Rose had a pretty decent game. 15 minutes, 5 for 6, 2 for 3 from downtown, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He was killing it last night, man. He was a plus 8, 12 points to Derrick Rose. And I think the other killer last night for this was Emmanuel Quickly. His stat numbers was pretty. 28 minutes, 5 for 11, 2 for 4 from downtown. He missed 2 free throws, which is not him. But he had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Only had 1 turnover. He only had 1 personal foul with a plus 11, 14 points. And obviously with the Milwaukee Bucks, they was all plus last night, just about. So I think overall, the second unit, you got to give the kudos to the second unit last night, everybody. I think they're the ones that pretty much kept the Knicks in the game last night. It wasn't for that second unit, we probably would have walked out there a little worse than it was. But, we live to fight another day, man. Like I said, we played the best team in the league. If they're undefeated, and that's the reason why they undefeated, because they're the best team. But they competed as much as they can. And I got some highlights I want to show y'all, because you could see some plays that kind of was interesting to me, especially lack of defense, man. I was like, you can't leave these guys open like that. So they were letting guys get open, they were knocking them down, man. And just real quick, Chopper, let me do the team stats that we can just verify what we were talking about. You look at the team stat for the Knicks, they shot 38% from the field goal, 39% almost. That's not good at all. 3-point line, 34%. Charity stripe, 68%. We definitely can't win like that. You know what I mean? On the rebound, 54 wasn't bad. But we definitely can't win like that, man. So we definitely gotta bounce back and get into a better flow of the game, because that was pretty abysmal from the charity stripe last night and everything else. So you got to just give them power, to give them their flowers, man. 34% from downtown, 38% from the floor. You got to give Milwaukee Bucks their credit. Their defense was on point last night, and it showed for sure.
Yeah, Divine, man. I'm gonna be on tomorrow with you, man. I got all these kids knocking on the doors and doing all this other good stuff right here, man. I just want once again, man. We played we didn't play as well as we've been playing. We were off and we were still in the game, man. We didn't push the pace, we didn't rebound the ball, and we didn't hit free throws. Those are the things that we have to do every game in order to win. You know what I mean? So salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. I'll be on with you tomorrow when we get ready to post game. Probably what time? About 4:30 or so. I think it's 6 o'clock tomorrow, right?
Yeah, pregame 4:30. Yeah, we are check for the notification. We be on, man. Dixon, Cleveland, man. We get into it. Hey, brother, I'll holler at you later, man. I'll talk to you.
Yes,
brother.
sir, man. Thank you, Divine. I'll talk a little bit. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Peace and love. I'm out. Shouts out. Peace.
Yeah, real talk. Super shout out for coming in, man. But yeah, you know what? Like I said, it was a tough competitive game for a minute. Like I said, we got to that 56 to 58, something like that, and RJ missed that little chippy, and it happens. It's just after that, that could have tied the game, but then they just went on a little like an 8-point swing, man. Turned the thing around from close to being a 2-point game tied up to being a whole 8-point swing that fast. But they was out to play, but they started out the game competitive. First quarter we had 28-24. Then it was 32. They scored 22 points in the second quarter. We scored 29. That third quarter killed us 37 points, man. They were just, oh my God, they were running amok in that third quarter. We scored 32. Then we both scored the same amount of points in the fourth quarter, 23. So you know, we will be all right, but that's what you do. You know, nobody going undefeated. That's why it's really nothing to be really mad about, because we knew that this wasn't the Orlando Magic. We knew it wasn't the Detroit Pistons. You know what I mean? We knew it wasn't the Charlotte Hornets. You know, obviously the two better teams we played, we lost to them. The Memphis game, I think we should have won. And this team, this one we had a chance, but just that, you know what? Our guys didn't shoot the ball well. RJ missed a ton of open threes. Randall only took 2 open threes and missed them. Brunson shot 4 threes. He only made 1. Fournier shot 7. He made 3. So, you know, and everybody else just, you know, didn't have it. You know, so it is what it is. But you got to give them credit, though. Get a credit to their defense. Their defense came out to play. And Giannis in that front line with Brook Lopez, they 1 and 2 in the league in block shots. I mean, you know, him and Serge Ibaka and them as well. So them cats pretty big up there, man. And then Mitchell Robinson being in foul trouble, obviously, really was a setback for us, because we couldn't keep him on the court to kind of maintain a little bit of it from a defense standpoint. And I think that's where the game pretty much got out of hand. But you got to give the kids credit. I'm glad we competed. We fought. Like I said, we lose the game yesterday. Be competitive. And what I did, like we were down 24, and them cats got right back in it, right back in that game. We got it close to 8 or 11, and we couldn't pull it over the hump. You know, and I'm happy to see that, though. That we got down that long, we fought and got back in that thing, and it could have went either way. Could have went either way. We would have hit shots last night. So we scored 108. We would score 122 for the season, but we knew that wasn't going to stay forever with the team that we got to play coming up. You know, you got them teams that are better teams in the East and the West, man. So you know, we weren't going to expect them to do that to Giannis and what we did to Detroit and Orlando, and that's not even going to happen. So, but. You know, I think you get a lot of pros and cons out of the game, and then you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah, real talk, George. Yo, I agree with you, man. With these next week games, going to be very interesting, man. You know, and we got to see how we're going to come out there against Cleveland tomorrow. Cleveland, man, they went in Boston last night. Karis LeVert and Donovan Mitchell both have 41 apiece. So, you know, we got to do, you know, and we got a big task tomorrow, but I think we up for it. They kept fighting. And that's what you want to see, hey, Marcus. They just got to keep that competitive spirit. Like, every night, like I said, nobody won in 82 games. But if you're going to lose somebody, just lose compete. And I think they competed last night for the most part, but much as they can, being in a hostile environment against the best defense team in the league with the best player in the league. And, you know, you come into a hostile environment It happens. You know what I mean? You know, them cats is gritty, man. Real talk. Them cats got defenders from up to bottom. They up in front of point guard, Drew Holiday, to the front line. They got a good defense team. Bobby Portis was in. He could play not a greatest defense, but he played some good offense. He got grit. But I tell you what, though, I do like the Harkenstein, and even though Mitch was in foul trouble, he still was competing. I mean, he blocked Giannis twice. I mean, but even though Mitch was in foul trouble, and he was competing, that's why I was kind of upset when they took Mitch out when he got that fourth foul, because I seen the way when Mitch was in there, when he got that fourth, the Knicks were just starting to make that comeback. They was all in sync, but Mitch got that fourth. I was like, Tibbs, leave him in there. Just leave him in there. You know what I mean? If he get the fifth foul, leave him out the whole game after that. But I think when he took him out, when he got that fourth foul, was kind of a turning point to me, because I do think the Knicks were starting to edge back in. And then with that second unit, I think Mitch also started playing with that second unit. Them cats was getting at it for a minute, man. I was like, man, this game is tougher, man. But I think that, and you gotta give Tibbs where I think Tibbs messed up at was when he took that second unit out when they was coming back, and soon he put that first unit in there at the end of the game, it got away from him. So I think that was one of a couple of things I didn't like the way Tibbs did last night. He got a little stubborn. He seemed like he reverted to old Tibbs. I think he might have won the game so bad he thought that his starters were going to come through. But I'm a Tibbs defender, but I gotta disagree with Tibbs on this one last night when he substituted that starting unit for that first unit. He should have did that for that second unit. I'm sorry, when he put the first unit in and took out that second unit, I'm like, Tibbs, no, these cats are the ones in this game. They deserve to play last night. Believe it or not, the second unit deserved to play more than the first unit when it got down to crunch time. They were playing better anyway. So and I do think them little mistakes was a turning point in the game last night. But it's fine. He's not perfect either. You know what I mean? That's not the reason why we lost. It was a part of why we lost. I mean, I think, and I just think that we went up against a better team. That's all to it. They just last night them cats was better than us all around. But I do like the fight, the grit. Like I gotta respect Jalen Brunson, like he said yesterday. I mean, not today. He said in the press that this is on me. He said I got to get the team off to a better start. That's what I'm encouraged about, because having a guy like Jalen Brunson who's a leader, that's what leaders do. Leaders put the weight on their shoulders and say, I gotta be better to get these cats better. So you can appreciate having a point guard who took the onus and put it on himself. And I think that was big of Jalen Brunson to own up to that. Just realize like I'm that guy and I gotta get these kids in better shape. I appreciate that so much that lets me know that we're gonna be all right when you got a guy who can do that. You know what I mean? And that's real talk. Absolutely, Marcus. Real talk, man. Sometimes when you lose, you learn. That's facts. I mean, you know what? You can learn a lot by losing, man. And because next time you got to go and correct your mistakes, and them things happen. And you say I got to be better at this next time, and this and that. So that's a good point there for real. It is going to be a long season, so like Shab said, like y'all said, the cardiac Knicks, but we're going to be all right. It's going to be a good game tomorrow, man. We're going against another dominant front line, almost with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. We got to see how Julius Randle going to bounce back there. But and when I want to throw somebody, it's not a pick at Julius Randle. He's the only clip I've seen that I could do this. I just want to show y'all a point in the game where I thought this was when you knew the Knicks defense didn't have it last night, and I want to throw that up there right quick, and then I'll take it right back off. It was this play right here. This play right here told me where the Knicks defense was. This was the first unit. Julius Randle on them. Watch this play. And see why Julius Randle didn't go out there to contend the Giannis on this shot, and then left Jalen Brunson on the island. Here we go right here. Look at this play right quick. He swings it to him. Look at what Julius Randle at freeze. That's why I knew we had it bad last night. Look at Giannis here. My man shoots the ball. Look at Randle. Look at Bobby Portis. Look at RJ. He on his man. He didn't go out there where Giannis was. Left my man Jalen Brunson on the island by himself. And RJ Barrett wanted to come in and kind of cheat and left him on the island by himself. So even if he didn't shoot that ball, he could have swung that ball to Bobby Portis. Look where RJ and Randle was at. That's the type of defense we played last night, and that's why they scored 119 points last night. I just thought that, like, come on, you got to get on that guy. You can't leave him open to shoot that, man. You got to chase Giannis Antetokounmpo out there, and Randle didn't even pretty much keep getting that play with him. And like I said, just run it back one more time. You see what I mean? Now watch what happens. Go out there, Randle. See, look where Randle at. Look where RJ at. He's jacking up the ball. He get cut off by Giannis with the pick, and look what Randle at. That was a tale of how we played last night, and I just think that we got to clean that up, man. So I think we definitely got to outperform on the defense end last night. Our defense definitely wasn't there last night, and things like that could happen. And we got to clean that up. And that I was like, come on, bro, you got to get out there to get this dude. You know what I mean? You can't just let him, because the idea he was wanting to get a rebound and play defense. And it was both. Really, it was just a whole thing for him, because that Giannis Antetokounmpo is Randle's man. You got to follow him. You know what I mean? You got to follow him where he go. So wherever Giannis go, you should have followed him. But you see, what happened was Giannis was smart. He, being that Randle didn't come out with him, he gave it to my man and threw a pick on Jalen Brunson, picked him right off. Boom. I was like, uh-oh. So, I mean, it happens. It happens, man. Sometimes when you ain't got it going that night and you get lackadaisical on defense, them things can happen when you're not catching a rotation or you just not hustling out at your man. And I think that play was kind of evident of what happened last night on the defense. And so we just got to work, clean it up tomorrow rather, and go into Cleveland and try not to do the same thing. Yeah. But and he was the closest to Portis, I agree. And but if anything, RJ should have been on Portis. I think RJ and Randle, to me, in that play, was concerned about Giannis Antetokounmpo attacking the boards, coming down the middle. But Giannis went the other way, and I just think Randle didn't follow him. I'm like, yo, dude, your man going out to the 3-point line. Why you ain't out there with him? So, things like that happen, man. Salute Fabian, salute to the chat. Everybody, man. It's someday you ain't on your A game, or sometimes you got a team that's better than you, take you off your A game. Got you thinking the way you know supposed to be thinking. So sometimes when you play in competition, it makes you do things you don't want to do. And obviously that's what it was last night on the defense side of the ball for the Knicks. They didn't have it, especially when Mitchell Robinson fouled out. Evan Fournier was a turnstile last night. They was running through him last night, and that's why he was a minus 22. He just didn't have it last night. That's going to be a concerning thing for me moving forward, is when we play. Now think about this here tomorrow. We got Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. We know Evan Fournier cannot keep up with Donovan Mitchell, and that means you're going to put a lot of pressure on the front line again. And now you got Jalen Brunson going up against a speedy Derek Garland. So it's going to be another tough task for that backcourt tomorrow. But I think we got to find a way to me, just picking back off the negative, off the pros and the cons of the game. The cons was our defense. We just got to get that stellar backcourt defense like that. Grimes quickly played a good game defensively last night. He had one play last night that was incredible. I mean, he literally chained on three guys on the defensive side of the ball and kind of forced a play to be negative. I liked that about Emmanuel quickly last night. He had some really good numbers last night, man. He was in there, man. See, that's what's interesting to me. You see the way he played, and I don't think Fournier can play like that. I think what's important, but I'm gonna tell you what I would like to see quickly with Brunson last night. We had another ball handler, and I'm not knocking Evan Fournier. I'm talking about when you play a decent team like that who got a lot of pressure. I'm saying Carter was pressuring Brunson, so if you would have had Emmanuel Quickly in there, he could have took the pressure off of Brunson, because Quickly can break you down too with the ball as well. So I think Evan Fournier can't do that in that game situation. Would have been nice if he rolled Quickly the rest of the game with them guys, because I think you had two ball handlers. So when they put the pressure on my man Jalen Brunson, and he's swinging to somebody like Quickly can get in there and do some other things. So I think that's just another sign of we still got a good team. But I just think last night there wasn't enough for these guys. So it is what it is. We live to fight another day. But we definitely got to address that situation moving forward. And Mark, I think that I've been saying that for a while, that Fournier is not a bad player, but I think we got something there that can help us better between Grimes and Quickly in that starting unit, because they defense is legit. They ball handling, they playmakers to a degree. You know what I mean? And so we got to see, but I just think that even moving to the bench and start them against these, because you think about these two guards in the league now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the two guards in the league in the NBA now, they more faster, they more athletic, they more quicker. I mean, they are physical specimen. These two guards in the league. You think about it, look at all the two guards in the league, and when I mean two guards in the league, you talking about some creme de la creme cats. The Jaylen Browns, the Donovan Mitchell now over there. You go up and down the East. You got some guys who can put the ball in the hole. James Harden with him and Tyrese Maxey in the East. So it's kind of crazy, man. Now Kyrie Irving playing the 2 a lot because Ben Simmons is there. You know what I mean, or vice versa. So I do think that it's the 2 guard spots. You got to be really athletic and competitive to play against these guys. Like, you'll get burnt every night because these cats are just fast and athletic. You jump out the gym. Yeah, I listen. I think RJ the better defender than he is. I just don't think RJ had a great game last night. But last year, RJ was playing the top 3. He was taking on the best team players in the league last year at the 3 guard spot and didn't do pretty bad. So yeah, last night I think RJ wasn't a good defensive. None of them was good defenders last night. But I do think RJ overall is a better defender than Fournier game by game. I think RJ stayed in front of his man. Last night he just didn't have it. None of them had it. So I'm giving that whole starting lineup was in the minus last night. All of them. So I do think I think last night was one of them things where it just didn't have it. For me. And I do think you're right. That's why I'm like what Grimes come back. The thing about that last night pregame, he was shooting jumping from the 3-point line. He was warming up last night, shooting some trades, Marcus from the 3-point line in practice before the game started yesterday. So that was good to see. He's the guy that'll help us tremendously because he can defend one-on-one real well. He's a solid defender, man, and he can shoot the ball well from outside. And obviously he can put the ball on the floor too. So I think he's going to help the Knicks when he get back. But it is what it is, guys. It's one of them things. We took an L last night, man. But the big thing is bouncing back. Is how you respond at the loss. How you respond. Do you respond with I got knocked down, but I'm gonna get back up, man. Salute to my man Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, salute to you, my brother. Salute. It's about responding. You get punched and knocked to the canvas, then you got enough in you to get up off the canvas and get back into the boxing match. And I think that's what we got to do tomorrow. We got the boxing match, got knocked down a couple times in a couple rounds, but you got to get back up and keep fighting. And tomorrow, I think it's going to be a big test for the Knicks, man. That's a pretty nice team down there. Front court tall, back court talented, but I also sometimes know that we got to respond a certain way. Yeah, real talk, Elmator. We're not going to win them all. That's 100%. Nobody going at 82-0. That far as I know. And I think Eddie. Eddie. I know. I'm with you on that. I've been on that all summer long. It's not that Evan Fournier is not a good ball player, but I think if he's not knocking that 3 down, occasionally getting to the rim scoring, if you score 11 points, and here's what people not understand what I mean by this: if you score 14 points but you give up 24. You understand? That's what people miss. Everybody, I love Evan Fournier's 3-point shot. But if you giving up 13 points, you scoring 13 points, but your man scoring 17, 18, 20. That's good. That's what we talk about. So, you might fall in love with a 3-point shooting and everything else, but what is this plus minus every night? And we paying Evan Fournier a good contract, guy. We giving him $18 million. You know what I mean? So we got to hope that he come get his legs under him. And it ain't Evan Fournier is a bad player. I'm saying I think his fit either on a bench would be better, and put a guy in that front, that starting lineup, who literally can lock down another person's 2 guard for a minute. And then can you imagine RJ running with Derrick Rose and these guys? He it takes the pressure off because he can really be the 3. Him and quickly can be the 3-point guys and that thing. So, and I'm not gonna really debate about the RJ thing. RJ number speak for itself. His first 3 years in the league compared to Evan Fournier to his whole 10 years in the league. Evan Fournier numbers don't compare to RJ as long as he's been in the league compared to RJ's numbers when he come in the league, 14, 17 to 20. I don't think Evan Fournier ever scored 20 points a game since he's been in the NBA. He's a good player, good solid veteran, good shooter, talented. He's a hard dude. But it is what it is. RJ got to pick his game up. He starts off slow. He got to get better at what he do. We knew RJ coming out of college wasn't a shooter. We knew that. What was RJ's Achilles heel coming out of college? He wasn't a good shooter. We all know that. But he also do a lot of other things that make him get what he get. He get downhill, he get contact. Had a bad game last night. But, at the same time, he kept competing. So, like I said, our guys didn't have it. Randall didn't have it. Brunson didn't have it. Mitchell Robinson had foul trouble. Fournier didn't have it to a degree. RJ didn't have it to a degree. The whole starting 5 didn't have it last night. So it's not a knock on one player. It's the whole starting five. What I'm talking about. I was just bringing up the Evan Fournier thing because I do think that moving forward, it's got to be something that the Knicks got to deal with somehow, some way, just because of the competition that's at the 2-guard spot in the NBA. That's the only reason. He's going to be going up against night in and night out guys who would beat him off the dribble, guys who could jump higher than him. Some guys might be stronger than him. It's a tough thing to deal with when you're a 10-year veteran. You've been in the league that long, and you've been playing basketball all summer long. For the last 2 years, Evan Fournier been playing FIBA ball. You know what I mean? He played every year. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And sometimes it might slow you down, but he's a good player. And he getting his money, you know, but it's just that we just got to think that, like, let's say tomorrow, let's watch the game tomorrow and see how hard it is for him to stay in front of Donovan Mitchell. It's going to be hard. Donovan Mitchell's a strong dude. He's a freakish athletic dude. So them the things we just got to hope that can get better. I ain't got no problem with Klay Thompson, brother. Real talk. That contract is Steve Marcus, but I ain't got no problem with him. But other than that, man, the pros and cons of the game was that Giannis was better than us last night. Milwaukee played hard. We tried to stay competitive. We just didn't have it. Our second unit had it, but our first unit didn't have it. And Cam Reddish didn't have it last night. 2 points. He didn't have it in the second unit. But Obi Toppin played a great game. Quickly played a great game. Hartenstein played a decent game. So we live to fight another day. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. And that's why I was so disappointed last night, Parrish, when that second unit was rolling. Tibbs should have never took them dudes out. That was the blunder on Tibbs last night. Like I said earlier in the show, the two blunders I think Tibbs made the most last night was when that second unit was rolling and that last quarter, close to that quarter, he should have never brought Randall and RJ them back in. When Mitchell Robinson got that fourth foul, you should have never took him out. The momentum was changing. It was changing when Mitchell Robinson went in. And I was like, man, we started to get in sync with this defense a little bit. But I think Tibbs took him out, and I think that's when it kind of got back out of hand. So, we like I said, it's nobody perfect. That's why we say with the coach and player performance tonight, and that the coach and player performance, Tibbs left them guys in there a little bit. They took them out too early, bought them when they didn't have it, and the whole starting line they didn't have it. The whole team I get it. He wanted to try to think that they can snap out of it and all that, but sometimes you don't got it. You don't got it. Maybe that's what he didn't recognize last night. Well, I got except for Artie, because Artie came in the third quarter, scored 13 points. Then even though he didn't have it in the first quarter, the first half, he did come in and try to get back in the game. Hit a couple of floaters. Hit one of the only three he shot last night when he had that 13-point run. But other than that, what can you do? You can't say too much, brother. Them cats was on a game last night. Them boys they deep, man, and that's without Chris Middleton and Pat Covington. Them boys is deep in Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee might come out the East easy. If they play like this the rest of the year, ain't nobody beating them. They ain't nobody beating them. That defense is stellar. I mean, when they on. And like I said, that's without Chris Middleton. And so and Carter was D'ing Brunson up. Pretty put a lot of pressure on the ball with Brunson. And Brunson owned up to that. Just like I said, he said, "Listen, man, this is all on me tonight." And I'm loving that. That's a leader. Now I can't say that enough. That he know that his game wasn't where he needed to be, and he took responsibility for it. And that's what you want as a leader of your team. Don't only get praise when you do good, but also take the criticism when you don't play good. And I think that's what it's about with us. We got to criticize these guys when they play good. I mean, we got to give them their flowers when they play good. And if they don't play good, they're going to get a little critiquing going on. You know what I mean? But it's too early to panic, though. I ain't pushing no panic buttons here. We knew he wasn't. We knew these next 7 games was going to be pretty tough. I had 4-3. But I knew we had an opportunity to win last night, but it just didn't go our way. I wish RJ would have had a good shooting game last night. I think I said in the pregame show, I was like, I think if RJ probably go for 25, we can pretty much be in this game. He went for 20, but like I said, his 3-ball is the only thing that's bothering me. I'm not worried about nothing else about RJ. It's just his 3-point ball got to get together. If he took 7 3-pointers last night, can you imagine if RJ would have made 3 of them? He would have had 29 points, basically. You know what I mean? So he just got to get out there and get it popping. And it will. I'm not worried about that, man. And no number tell reason why I'm not worried about it, because the Knicks not worried about it. They would have gave him almost close to $27 million a year. So we can get the feelings and emotions involved in all this stuff. I get it. But the Knicks ain't concerned because they wouldn't have gave him the money. If the Knicks didn't think RJ was good enough to help this team, they wouldn't have gave him $20-something million a year. So RJ starts off bad like this every year. So no matter what we may think a player's not good or not, it don't matter what we think. We ain't paying them. The front office paying them. And the front office felt like, even though that I can understand they would have traded him for Donovan Mitchell. Of course you would have did that because Donovan Mitchell is that dude. But it's too early to think that RJ is not that guy. He will be that guy. I guarantee you. We all will be talking a different tune about RJ in another 2 months or another month or whatever. I guarantee you that because that's what he do. I mean, this is who he is. He's a slow starter to the season. You got some guys who start off slow and end up good. You got some guys who start off fast and end up terrible. You know what I mean? So that's just the nature of being a human being playing basketball. Sometimes you start off good and you end up sticked up the joint. Look at high prime example. Evan Fournier started off terrible last year, but look how he ended up the season. He ended up dynamic. Evan Fournier last year started the season slow, coming out of FIBA. We was about to run Evan Fournier out of New York last year, but look what happened at the second half of the season. He caught fire and he started knocking down on threes and all that stuff. So it takes time. And like I said, look at the Lakers right now. Lakers 0-5. They are turning around eventually. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish, man. That's what life is about. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. You get knocked down, you get back up, you keep it moving. So we got knocked down last night in Milwaukee. We got to get off the canvas and get back to in Cleveland tomorrow and try to come out that thing with a W. And that's all you can do. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's for the team last night. I'm gonna give Tibbs a C+ last night. I think Tibbs didn't coach his best game to me. And I'm gonna give our starting lineup. I'm gonna give our starting lineup pretty much a D. I get a D last night. I get a bench of B+. Bench B+. The starting lineup get a D. Tibbs get a C+. I just think that they and a lot of that had to do with the team they was playing. They just was better than us last night. So their defenders was good. The defensive side of the ball was awesome last night. Carter made Brunson work for his. Obviously Lopez and Giannis made Randall and Mitchell got work for theirs. Even my man, what's the cat there, the shooter from Duke, Grayson Allen. He made Fournier and all cats work last night. He made RJ work for his last night, and that was the results right there. So it's a 3-2 on the season, 5 games in, 3-2, not bad. We're not under 500. We still 5th in the East right now, believe it or not. So we still like the 5th best team record-wise in the East right now. And other than the guys who lost one game, it's only about 3 of them. Giannis them undefeated. A couple other teams lost one game, and then we sitting there 5th with two losses. So it's definitely something to build off of, and go and sit down and as a player think about what you didn't do right, what you didn't do wrong, what you did right, what you didn't do right, and what you did wrong, and correct it. And man, that's all you can do moving forward. And I think they will. I really think they will, man. But let's look at a little bit of highlights from the game last night. And just see what some of the things that went on in the game and some of the plays that was being made last night. And then we get back at the chat, man. Y'all got to hear me rumbling so much, but I'm in the building right now, so I got to do what I got to do. But here, let's look at some of the highlights from last night, man, and let's see what the Knicks was doing here. Yeah, that was fantastic right there. Obi just stepped back by Obi. I like that, man. In rhythm, nice, knocking it down. That looked good. Obi was good. That three-point shot in the last couple of games out of last year. So everybody here is indicative of how strong that young man is. I mean, oh my goodness, that's bully ball right there. Full speed ahead. Can't do too much about that. I mean, once he's in that groove, he's in that groove. RJ with the shoulder, that's Robson, that's what he do. Which he didn't have wasn't a foul trouble last night, would have made a difference. Good block by Lopez. He's like in the league 4 games, you know what I mean? So he was pretty there. Grayson Allen, he was knocking him down. He had like 4 3 last night. It was pretty pesky last night, man. They had 2 of them in a row. They didn't have nothing for him last night. There go the other one. It's like that was that pass of Bobby Portis. The swing was wide open. Oh, where is RJ on that play? RJ left him wide open. They can't have that. But this right here, Giannis on the push. That was pretty tough, and one. Dancing, like Clyde said, dancing and prancing last night. He was killing it. That play right there bothered me. Gambler didn't come out on that, left my man out there to holler by himself. I didn't like that last night. But crossover. There was a baby floater. So they had some pretty good things happening, but Artie on the curl play. That's in that third quarter. I think Artie started getting going in that third quarter. He was pretty good there last night. So stay with the play. Gets the ball back. Easy layup for him. He had a good game last night. 12 points back to last night. Third quarter. It really was. This quarter here was a nightmare. Look at that. All the cats on the perimeter open, man. Ain't nobody even on the perimeter. I'm like, where's the cats at, man? You know what I mean? What's going on with that? So, it was a pretty tough performance on the perimeter. I was like, I did like Mr. Robinson. He tried his best. After the one play, my man got on, but Mr. Robinson blocked my man Giannis twice last night. I was like, too much good Lopez right there. But people to play out talking right here, right now, but he ain't going out like that. You know what I mean? So we got to hope that they just clean up some bad things and make it happen again. That was unbelievable shot right there. That ain't like that the best right there. But it is what it is, man. Everything was going for them last night. Can't rest with the upper two, but I like that shot right there. Yeah, got talent, man. You got to get it all together, man. You got to get Cam Reddish to get that thing together. Coming down the line, down to the mid-range. Missed no pass, not enough to stop that. He was knocking on everybody last night. But overall, but quickly, this man, he had the game, though. This boy was in his bag last night, though. Look at this. He was in his bag last night. Look at Manu quickly, bro. He was really getting popping last night, man. I really like what I see from Manu quickly last night. I'm happy about that. Real talk. But no, it is. You just got to keep fighting, guys. Keep fighting and scrapping. And hopefully we play better the next game. Look at this dude, man. He is at another level, bro. It's like a freight train coming at you. Ain't too much you can do with him when he's in his bag like that. Just play as much as you can. Look at pushing the ball. This kid is crazy. Good pass. He's a nightmare to deal with, man. He really is. He proved that in that year he won the championship. He dropped like 50 in the final. He was killing them cats. Man, dropped like 50 on them, dude. But man, quickly was balling last night. I like what I'm saying out of quickly. Real talk, man. He's starting to really get into his own. Good block by Mitch again. Blocking that monster. He would have stayed out of foul trouble. Might have been a different scenario out there. Look at quickly, man. This cat is doing it, man. Look at this. Good pass. But there go Brunson. He got it blocked. If you would have got that ball to Brunson, man, maybe trying to go up and get some 7-footers in there, it might have been a different scenario. But they look at Quickly's game, though. This kid is stole right there. Drew Holiday, phenomenal defense play. That was his only turnover last night, actually. So it was interesting, man. Swinging that ball, look at that wide open. Look at Randall and Robinson. Ain't nowhere to be seen. So they didn't have it last night. They really didn't. It was one of them nice guys that they just have it popping. But that's all right. We'll fight another day, like I said. But overall, though, you can't be mad at that them cats scrapping last night. It just was out class last night. Real talk, man. They was out class last night, and that's what happens. Yeah, real talk, Elton Lee. They let us back in. We didn't take advantage of that at all, and we got to capitalize off that stuff, man. When their team let us in the game like that and get back in it, you got to capitalize. And they was about to. I just thought that substitution pattern at the end of that fourth quarter. I don't even do it. Let them cats stay in the game. And quickly had it going. Obi was hitting threes. Harkenstein was playing. He was hustling, playing. I think you should have maybe left Cam Reddish in there, even from a defense standpoint. Even he didn't shoot the ball well, but I think the defense would have made a difference. And so I do think that was a problem last night for the Knicks overall, man. I apologize for that on my screen, ladies and gentlemen. But it is what it is. We live to fight another day. We get back at it, man. We will. You know, I'm confident that the Knicks going to come back and bounce back and play a better game. But they went up against stellar competition. That's what happens. You know, you can do about it. You take the L, you move on. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. Real talk, guys, ladies and gentlemen, looking forward to tomorrow's game. Hopefully, we can have a better performance. We kind of realized what we did and we didn't do last night. 119, 108. We within the game for the most part, and then we wasn't. But I got to give them credit for fighting back, like Elton Lee, the professor said. Salute to Elton Lee. They fought back, man. They fought back down 24, stayed in and didn't give up. Because, like I said, there was only a run away, especially with that about 2-3 minutes left. I'm like, these cats still got a chance to get in this thing. But that substitution pattern hurt us. But it's all good, man. So, you know, you take the bad with the good, the pros and the cons. And that's what it is. The NBA is basketball. And you move on. So we 3-2, still looking good coming out the gate. And we still undefeated at home. And hopefully we can that thing can maintain and stay that way for a while. Yeah, right. Yeah. If Mitch wouldn't have got in foul trouble, hey, Lee, I think other than that one fast break dunk, Mitch was doing his thing though. He just couldn't stay on the court. I mean, other than that dunk on that fast, whatever, I don't know about on the fast break when he dunked it. Oh yeah, Mitch Robinson. Other than that, Mitch blocked his shot twice. You know, had 3 blocks. Mitch was the only one in the starting unit that really played when he was on the court. Not too bad. But you know, and like I said, you got a great point there. That was, you know what else I'm gonna tell you we gotta watch out for? Short guards who be up on you. Because know who gave him a little bit. I seen TJ McConnell. I know when we played Indiana, he pesky. And I think the peskiness was bothering them a little bit that game. I know it was preseason, but I know when we played that, I seen TJ McConnell making it tough on Jalen Brunson in that game anyway, because he was so pesky. And I think Carter was the same way. He was ball pressure and he was up on it. And I think Jalen Brunson got in there and broke it down a little bit. You know, but I do think that the tougher part about last night for me, if you wasn't hitting threes last night, I knew the Knicks were gonna have a long night because they so big up in the front. You know what I mean? So if our 3-point game wasn't on last night, with Giannis and Brook Lopez down there, Bobby Portis when he in there, 6'10". Those guys got some size down there, man. And so if you get down in the lane, 9 out of 10, your shot gonna get either altered or somebody gonna try to block it. So I was hoping that, you know, if RJ would have hit some of those threes he hit, if and Brunson would have been better at the 3-point line. That if you notice, the reason why we was in that game because of the 3-ball was because of Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, them guys was hitting that 3-point shot. And it kept them bigs from having to come away with them easy stops down in the middle. Because RD went 1 for 7. If he would have went, even if RD would have went 4 for 7, that's 12 points. That he left off the board. He left 12 points off the board last night, and he still scored 20. That's why I'm not worried about it. Because you know, once RD's 3-point shots start falling, it's game over. You know what I mean? Because now, you know, he gonna be able to do it inside and outside. You know what I mean? Let's see if we can correct that. And they are, man. They just not hitting them, man. And that's what we got to do. We shot 34% from the 3-point line last night, and you know that's below league average. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that had to do with the starting unit. So other than Fournier went what, 3 for 7, something like that. So other than Fournier 3 for 7. Nobody else didn't really have it popping like that. I think when it comes to the 3-point shot last night, if I'm not mistaken, the 3-point line last night, Brunson 1 for 4, Fournier 3 for 7, RJ 1 for 7, Randall 0 for 2. That's terrible. That was terrible. You know what I mean? So collectively, I mean, 1 for 4. Obi Toppin and Quickly, and Derrick Rose. Obi Toppin, man, quickly, Derrick Rose shot a really good high percentage for the charity strike. For the 3-point line last night. The second unit was the one popping. The other cats that have it popping. So they definitely got to clean up that for sure. Oh my God, that's what happened. Wow, Primo, you messed yourself up on that one, brother. If that's, I know it's probably just, I don't know if the allegations, the acquisitions, I don't know, but that's not a good look for you, my brother. Yeah, he will, Eddie. Eddie, real talk. I think Grant. I can't wait till he get back. I was encouraged to see him shooting the 3-ball at the beginning of the game last night in practice, the warm-ups. in warm-ups last night, he was knocking down threes, just shooting them, man. And he was bouncing off that foot pretty high. So he probably was testing it out. Hopefully we'll see him maybe in the next couple of games or something, man. I think he's a player that we really truly need back in our lineup. And he brings that defense and that good 3-point shot as well. So I think he'll be a plus when he gets back. But other than that, we just gotta hope these guys bounce back tomorrow. And Brooklyn got some issues too. And I think they're turning around, but that thing is crazy in Brooklyn, man. And like I said, I you know what? Can you imagine if we was playing like Brooklyn? See, that's what what bothers me sometimes. Everybody getting Knicks all this flack about we not just here. For the last 4 years, Brooklyn done had 2 or 3 or 4 of the top 10 players in the game on their team and didn't even get past the second round. You know what I mean? And like I said, sometimes, you know what? If that was the Knicks, man, they'd be ran us out of New York. These cats literally had KD on their team at one time, James Harden, Kyrie, Drummond, Griff, all these dudes, man, and still didn't get nowhere. You know what I mean? So, it's crazy, man. And when we don't have superstars like they got, but we got a better team than them. I really do believe that. I think our team is better than Brooklyn. I think they got better superstar players. But that's a hot mess there. I think the Ben Simmons situation don't work for them because to me, he's an open court player. Yeah, right. You can't save him from that. You're right, Elton Lee. You can't save my man from that. And I think that them cats gonna have to do something with Ben Simmons and maybe move him to a team, man. I just think that his game, because he's not a great shooter, what he gonna do in the half court? If he ain't shooting the ball, rebound, or maybe move him to the power forward or center. I don't know, but they ain't helping him where he at right now. Yeah, that's true. Sharif Cooper as well. Yeah, you're right, Nick 100. I don't know if these cats not panning out or his situation. I can understand why they did that with him. I mean, hey, if Yumi Aduka got fired or got put on leave because of something dealing with females, I guess Josh Primo don't fall far from the tree when it comes to the NBA getting strict about that stuff. They try to keep their brand clean, and that's what it's about. I guess they got to keep their brand clean because they don't want none of that crazy stuff going on. It's not good for ticket sales, and I understand that. But at the same time, I feel bad for Josh Primo, young man like that who had a lot. He was a promising young dude, had a lot of talent. Yeah, hey, Eddie, I'm gonna have to be 100% with you on that too, man. I know people beat me up by saying that, but I have to say I just think that you should just move him and get some value out of that contract, or even if you're moving for an aspiring or something, or if you're gonna bring in a player that can contribute, or even if you don't bring in a player that can contribute, but you wind up getting a pick or two, and then you're getting a player who don't mind being in a rotation. But you got up the contract. I just think that Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish can hold that two, and quickly and Grimes can hold down a 2-guard spot in New York for me. I believe one off the bench, one start. I think quickly and Grimes can hold that thing down. Grimes shoot the ball just as good as he did last year. He shot 39%. Grimes shot 38%. Smaller sample size, I get it. Defense is much better. Playmaking, he can get on the floor and do it. So I think somebody, I guarantee the Lakers wish they had Evan Fournier right now. Bad they shoot. They can use with him around LeBron James and Westbrook and Anthony Davis. They need a guy. That's their problem. They don't got no shooting. That boy fit good out there in LA for real. I mean, that would be, he fit better in LA than he fit on our team. Because you know what? He also around guys who got a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. Fournier, he was playing with LeBron James and these Hall of Fame type cats instead of playing with the Knicks, who got a bunch of guys who want to be all-stars. It makes a bigger difference for him at this stage in his career to go to a team where he got guys who literally been there, done that, takes the pressure off him. It'll be interesting to see, man. So we got to keep an eye on Fournier moving forward. But at the same time, he here. I want to see him get a pop too. Hopefully, like I said, he get his leg back up a little bit from playing all summer long, and it happens, and he get it popping. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I think it'll work itself out one way or the other. Fournier is a talented player. I like his grit. I like he's a classy dude, man. He's a real good, solid veteran. I just think that from playing for Tibbs is just because Tibbs is a defense-minded coach. And you know, Fournier didn't even get to play in that after a certain while last night. He only played 20 minutes last night. And that he didn't even play almost the whole fourth quarter, you know. So I just think that that's a sign of saying that either he didn't have it or Tim just wanted to keep somebody else in there. So we'll see, man. But we gotta find a way to bounce back tomorrow and go in here in Cleveland, man, and the land and get it popping. Gonna be a tough challenge. I want to see the Jared Allen matchup. We'll go over all of the pregame tomorrow. But Jared Allen against Mitchell Rouse gonna be interesting. Brunson against Darius Garland gonna be interesting. Who played the 3 for them? I'm quite sure it's either a Coro or I'm not sure who played the 3 for them. But that's going to be a matchup against that's going to be interesting. Yeah, you got that right, Marcus. That's crazy. 7 points. That's crazy. There you go, Cat. Evan Fournier had the career plus minus of 702. Whoa, real talk, man. He's you know we paying for a 3-point shooter. I just think that's a lot of money. I do love PG3, but I know it's not reality, White Falcon. I love Paul George. I think Paul George, but I know it's not reality. That's why I don't say nothing about it. They are not giving up no Paul George. And that team got to fight. They about to fight for a championship against the West. And when Kawhi Leonard get attacked, no Cats get settled in, man, they're gonna be a tough out down there in the West Coast. I don't think they're gonna go see him leave the West to come here when he live in California. And he's from California, playing in California. It's California. Paul George ain't going nowhere. He worked his whole career to get there. They gave up too much for him to move him. But I don't think he's going nowhere, though. He had a pretty good year so far. John Wall, him, Kawhi Leonard, Reggie Jackson, Zubac, you name it. They got it out there, man. Them cats definitely going to be going, making it hard on the Warriors and Denver and guys like that. They're going to be competing. You know, you best could believe that. I just think that's all a matter of time before the day they really start popping. That's what I like. Hey, Marcus, I like that backcourt. I think that's a legit backcourt right there. I think that's a legit backcourt for sure, bro. And I think that hope it all kind of fruition, man. I just think that makes a big difference having Grimes there. I really do. You know, you don't lose too much you don't lose nothing on the defense end, and you don't lose nothing on the shooting end. You know, like I said, he's an underrated playmaker. I see some of the passes he be throwing these Knicks and some of these highlights from last year. I'm like, whoa, even in Summer League, he was abusing these cats in Summer League. So it's his time to shine, man. It really is. Yep. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. That's what I say. He is not on our timeline. And that contract is remarkable. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do think Grimes and Brunson is the future though on that backcourt. I really do. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, man. Would I love to have LeBron here? Sure, I would. Shit, LeBron, man, LeBron with this team. Shit, come on now. I ain't got no problem with that. No, LeBron was LeBron, bro. We gotta get through all the emotional stuff that happened over the back of the day, but that man still put up 30 a game in his age, and he's balling. It's just a shame that he going out the Lakers going out like this with him. I mean, Anthony Davis and you got these cats out there, y'all not doing nothing, man. That shit is crazy. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't have a problem with him. I like LeBron James. You know, on and off the court, that man, he's been holding it down in the NBA for a long time, man. Looking well, representing himself well, never getting in trouble, ambassador, everything, man. You know, he's doing it. You know, salute to him, man. Build a school in Cleveland for the young community out there, the LeBron James School, doing a lot for, you know, you got to get the brothers his flowers, man. Real talk, that's respect. You know, and so, you know, Lakers definitely do. If I was the Lakers with all that, think about this here. If I was the Lakers, I would try to get rid of LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, tear that shit down and build it back up. I know that's hard to do out in LA, but man, can you imagine if they would have kept Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, even Julius Randle? They let all these guys go. Yeah, they got a championship out of it, but still, look at what the mess they in now. You know, they have some nice young talent coming through that pipeline, man. I'm like, yo, and they sacrifice it all to get a ring. You know what I mean? And then you got to live with that. You know, you really do. Yo, salute to the chat, man. That's where it's at, man. Salute to you guys, man. Raymond Bentley, Cash Out, Nick 100, Ellen Lee, the Professor, everybody, Everez, man, salute to you. Appreciate y'all hanging with me tonight, man. You know, my man, Chop Powers, he was in for a little while, but he had to take care of business. So, you know, we get it popping on a pregame tomorrow. I know it's a quiet night and everything. You know, we lost, but we always got to come here and represent, good or bad. Peaks or valleys, we gonna be here representing for the Knicks fan base, man. That's what we do. You know, so but it's all good. Like I said, with a lot of pros and cons, more cons than pros last night. You know, just to reiterate what we talked about earlier, Tibbs, a couple of bad coaching decisions I didn't like. The first unit, all D's. I'm gonna say all D's. I won't even giving Mitchell Robinson D because he fouled out. But he did play last night though. He came to play last night. Mitchell Robinson, he still kind of did his usual almost. He had 3 blocks, I think it was last night. So you know, he came out there on the defense end and played pretty well. Yeah, on that end of the court, 2 blocks. I'm sorry. You only 9 rebounds. So you know, he did what he did. Only had 5 points, but that foul trouble. Matter if he wasn't foul trouble, he probably would walk out with a double, maybe 4 blocks. So you know, they live to fight another day. Real talk, man. But let's see, man. Let's see what y'all think about that Cleveland game tomorrow. That's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be a crazy with that lineup they got. That's a good team there. That's a pretty good team down there, at least on paper. Last night, Calzberg and Donovan Mitchell both had 41 last night. That was impressive. In Boston, went in the TD Garden in Boston and gave them boys the business last night. Coming out the gate, playing pretty good right now on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we got to see if we're gonna be up for the challenge tomorrow, and hopefully we bring our A game here to Cleveland tomorrow. Excuse me, and come out there with a victory. It's gonna be tough, but I think we can compete against anybody for sure. We just got to get back at it. Yesterday we didn't have it last night. That's all I really can say. Yeah, right now out the gate so far, it's early in the 5 game. Like I was saying, you know, in the previous streams, get these guys around about 10 or 15 games. Then you just really see what they made of. Because like I was saying, you know, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, we would have still been in preseason. I think we were playing like 8 preseason games or 6 preseason games. So really, a lot of these teams, they're not even hitting their groove yet. I got to leave it the Nets. They ain't gonna be 1-5 like that. Even the Lakers gonna catch fire sooner or later. It's just early, man. And everybody trying to figure out each other, trying to come out of, you know, like we really almost still in preseason almost. If it was but maybe 4 years ago when they changed the schedule from I think 8 games to 4 games or something like that. So, you know, they still got to get the kinks out, but it'll be all right. RJ last year came out 1 year 1 for 50 or 2 for 50 from 3-point line at the beginning of the year, and at the second half of the year, RJ shot was shooting in the high 40s from the 3-point line. And the second half of the season, Fournier last year stuck up the joint, was about to run him out of New York last year. Second half of the season, he got it popping. Same thing like a minute last year, started out the gate pretty slow. Second half of the season, they started getting it popping. Obi and all of them. So let's just hope that this thing just keep growing. And they get back at it, man. Just get some of the kinks out. We definitely got to see him. My major thing for me, I'm more concerned about the defense end. Offense comes and goes. That's just the way offense is. 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're not. You know, only so many players in the league can stay consistently hot all year long. Some days you're going to have good games, some days you're going to have bad games. It's about our defense always staying up on the forefront. You know, we can't give up 119 points. That's unacceptable. You know what I mean? I don't care who you play. And we definitely got to fix that. Like I said, they just took it to them last night. So, and that's real talk. And you know what, Lee, I'm hoping that that Desmond Bane type of player is Quentin Grimes. I think he can be a Desmond Bane type player. I really do. I think that when Quentin Grimes is on, he can catch fire, and I think he is underrated playmaker, man. I think we really missing him. I really do believe we missing this dude, man. I really believe that. I think Quentin Grimes can make a difference. You know, I really do believe that's the case with him. So I'm looking forward to that young man getting back, hopefully within the next week or something. Like I said, I did see him shooting last night. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Before that All-Star break, we just gotta stay. Hey, if we hovering around 500 by the All-Star break, I'm happy. If we hovering around All-Star break and we around 500 ball, I'm happy, because that means we would be projected. We would be at least 42 games. If we go 500 at the All-Star break, if it's 41 games hypothetically, or 42, and you break 41 or 41 up 82 games in the season, if we could be somewhere like 21-20 or 20-21 at the All-Star break, or at the halfway mark. I won't say All-Star break because sometimes it comes before. At the halfway mark, and then you can say that, you know what, we got through the first half, kind of figured out who our team is, just like last year. Then they caught fire a little bit in the second half last year before everybody went down with Derrick Rose and all these guys. So I'm hoping that we just stay competitive, man, and stay 500 right now. And then when lightning striking the bottle, when everybody kind of went through the NBA one time, they went around the first round, they know who they've been playing, they know next time Giannis them come in the Garden, it won't be like it was last night. I can guarantee you that much. So we got to see. We just got to stay even kill. Yeah, he's legit, man. I don't think Memphis going to give him up though. I think Memphis going to stint him just like they did Brandon Clark. They all the guys, they came up together: John Morant, Bane, Desmond Clark, Dalen. Now, Dalen Brooks is a dude I love to have at the 2. That's a dog right there. Now, I'll take Dalen Brooks at the 2 in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? But Memphis. That's why I always thought the Knicks team would be. Like the Memphis Grizzlies, these guys came up together. You know what I mean? They drafted him, put a piece or two around each other. And same thing with our team. We drafted RJ, we drafted Mitchell Robinson, we drafted quickly, we drafted Obi. Now you just put pieces around them. So we put Brunson around them. Obviously, we already had signed Julius Randle. You just put pieces around them, guys that you drafted, and build a team. And so far, the Knicks doing it pretty good. I like the way they're doing this thing. I really do it. I think this team is solid. Not because of last night, but because we lost don't mean the team ain't good. We just got beat by a superior team on that night. But I like the way this thing is built in New York. I think we just we ran into the creme de la creme last night, and it happens. You know what I mean? It happened. We ran into the better team, and they gave us the business last night. But I like where we at with this New York Knicks team. I don't have no doubt about this team whatsoever. I don't have no doubts about R.J. Barrett. I don't have no doubts about none of them. They all get it going. R.J. is a slow starter. You got if you a Knicks fan and you've been watching RJ for 4 years, he's a slow starter. He always ends up the season on a good note. So and that's just who he is. Like I said, some players start off fast, some they end up not good. Some players start off not good and end up having a good season. And that's just who RJ is. He's always been his MO. And like Tim said in an interview, that's RJ's MO. I mean, even the coach seen this for 3 years. He's a slow starter, but he's not worried about it because he know he will pick it up and this will be a wrap. Tim see it just like we see it. He coaches them every day. So it's all good. I'm not worried about RJ Barrett whatsoever. He'll live up to that contract. Because if the Knicks didn't think RJ Barrett was good, they wouldn't have gave it to him. They wouldn't have gave it to him. Whether he got traded with Donovan Mitchell or not. If the Knicks didn't think RJ Barrett was good, they wouldn't have picked up the option. They would have let him make his $10 million and then moved on from him. The Knicks know what they got. And us as a fan, we need to appreciate that young man. He's one of them cats who came to New York who wanted to be in New York, who truly relative want to take on the bright lights of New York. RJ gonna be fine. That's what he do. You know what I mean? He might not be the flashiest, sexiest guy out there. He might not be jumping out the gym and doing all this aerobatic stuff and all this stuff. But the cat gets his numbers. He gets his numbers. The numbers don't lie. 14 in the first year, 17 that year. Went to the second year with the Knicks, helped take them to the playoffs in the second year. His third year, 20 points a game, the whole team shot bad last year. Not only RJ, everybody shot bad last year, except for Mitchell Robinson, obviously a high field goal percentage, and Obi Toppin shot 53% from the field last year. But the whole team shot under 40% almost last year, so it happens. But yeah, we just got to keep fighting and grinding. I think Quickly playing real well. I love the way Quickly and Obi playing. They got to find a way. That's the only reason I kind of wanted. I'm always still on the Fournier thing, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I bring up the Fournier thing, because if you move Fournier, now you could give these guys more minutes. See, you're not gonna be able to give Grime and Quickly and Obi all the minutes they want when you got a guy like Fournier who eating up 20-something minutes a game. You know what I mean? You're just not gonna be able to do that. Ain't enough time on a team in 48 minutes. So that was only my trepidation with moving Fournier, because now you got Grimes and Quickly who definitely can split that 2-guard spot like 24 minutes apiece. Or if you put Quickly in behind every now and then, bring him in behind Brunson, you can extend Cam Reddish and Obi Toppin's minutes. But I just think it's hard to do when you got too many players, and I just think that he makes more sense to me than everybody to really want to do that. You know what I mean? So we have to see how it goes moving forward. But either way it go, we in a good spot with everybody. I'm good with the Knicks, man. Like I said, they ain't going undefeated. So but we wanted that win. We compete hard we can for a little while. Bad couple bad plays here and there. I just think that man, taking Mitchell Robinson out with the 4 fouls killed me last night. I'm like, man, that kind of hurt me because I thought if anything I ever wanted to see Tibbs do was say, man, you know what? Let the cat play in there. I know you got Hartenstein, but he was at that time in the game, he was making a difference. The defense started holding them cats a little bit, and they started getting back into it. And then I thought when he got that 4 foul, he should have kept him in there. You know, just my opinion anyway. But it's all good, man. But these guys, you got to give them time, man. Like RJ Barrett, 22 years old, man. He's like 22 years old, bro. You know what I mean? Come on. These cats, some of them barely scratching 20, 23, 24. Still babies. They're still babies in the league. You know what I mean? So you got to hope that they get it popping and they wind up being all right. And I think they will. And we'll see how it goes. But tomorrow, big game, everybody. Let's look forward to that game tomorrow, man. And let's see how these cats play against Cleveland. These next pretty much 7 games, like I said, is a telltale sign of how they're going to be rolling. And let's just throw that up there for you guys and kind of get an idea what the Knicks up against the next 7 games. And it's going to be pretty much. We already got one of them out the way. But if you look at that schedule coming up, guys, tomorrow we go. You already know we got to go Cleveland. We'll be in Cleveland tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Yep, we'll be in Cleveland at 6:00 tomorrow. Then we be at home at MSG against the Hawks. Going to be a good game. That should be popping, that game, Wednesday night. That should be a fun game. Then we got the Sixers and the Boston Celtics back-to-back. We play the Sixers down there in the city of brotherly love. We got the Celtics down here in New York. Then we got the Timberwolves, the Nets. Then we back at Detroit. So these games right at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go 3-3 or 4-2. Then I think we pretty. But after that, man, look at the schedule. After that, guys, you got not the Thunder, Pistons, Thunder, and Jazz. But think about it, you got the Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, Trailblazers, Grizzlies. Oh my God, the Knicks got a daunting schedule coming out the door. Then you got the Mavericks, Cavaliers again, Hawks, Hornets. I mean, Knicks they got a smoking schedule coming out the beginning of the season. So if they do well with this in this beginning of the season with that schedule, I'm gonna be super optimistic about that, man. If they come out there balling like that. Yeah, hey, I agree, man. Let's see how Tibbs work this thing out, man. Because I think what's interesting to me when they play well, it seems like they can get the minutes because he don't have to rely on them so much. But I didn't like the body language last night for that first unit last night. I thought the second unit outplayed them for sure, man, all the way around, in all aspects. It seemed like quickly had the ball moving, real good last night. Obi was knocking them down, man. He was hustling on some good plays and everything like that. And so Hartenstein was more active. Reddish, he didn't have a good offensive game, but he still tried defensively. But so it was. Derrick Rose had a great game. He was a spark plug, and I think the Knicks should have rolled with them cats a little longer last night. So that's why I gave Tibbs a C+ today. Because I think that he definitely didn't. He didn't allow them cats to really keep the momentum of that game going because they had the momentum. And when they had that momentum, I was hoping that Tibbs just left him out there. Hey, Randall, let RJ and Randall and them cats sit out. They wasn't having it anyway. So what does it matter? You get them other chance of guys like to feel what it is like to be in a game like that. They're only going to prepare them for when they get to a real game like that in the playoffs or whatever. So by him just letting Randall and them sit it out, knowing that you got to play Cleveland tomorrow, I'll just let Randall, Artie, and them sat down. He let Fournier sit down the whole fourth quarter. So he should have did the same thing with our starters and say, you know what, y'all sit down. These other guys got it popping. There's only about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. He should have closed it out with that second unit and left all the starters on the bench last night. He didn't do that. And that was my only trepidation besides taking Mitchell Robinson out with 4 field goals, 4 fouls last night. That's real talk. So, but we'll see, man. We gotta keep it moving. It's all good. I think the cats will be fine, and I think Ted's gonna be fine. When we lose a game, it's gonna be more talking about the cons than the pros. That's just the law of nature. When something don't go right, we're gonna point out the negative stuff because that's what losing does. But when we win it, we're gonna be here talking about all the positive things they did. But they had some good things last night, which was our bench. They had some bad things last night, which is our starting lineup, and semi-bad things with the way Tibbs coached the game last night. I think, I think out of all that though, the Milwaukee Bucks was a way better team. Period. Another way you could put it, because Tibbs was doing good the first 4 games with his rotation. This is the one night I got on Tibbs And y'all know me, I'm a pro Tibbs dude. You know what I mean? But last night Tibbs, then he kind of let them guys stand too long. But it is what it is, man. Chat. It happens. It's basketball. You live to fight another day. Ain't nobody perfect. You know what I mean? Because it is, you'll be Milwaukee Bucks undefeated in the season and standing. Obviously, we ain't them. So, but let's see, man. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. There's gonna be some good matchups in that game tomorrow. The backcourt gonna be fired. I mean, Garland and Mitchell and Brunson and Fournier. Gonna be interesting. It's gonna be real interesting tomorrow. Let's see how these cats try to stop that firepower they got, and see if they can hold them guys down, man, and they get in their groove. If they can, hopefully Julius Randle can find a way to bounce back against Evan Mobley, playing at that 4 spot. Evan Mobley is a lanky 7-foot dude almost. See how Randle going to work around that, and obviously Jared Allen and Mitchell Robertson going to be a special matchup. I'm looking forward to that matchup right there. Even when they were playing he was in Brooklyn against the Knicks, him and Jared Allen, I always want to see them two go at it. They got a pretty good bench: Kevin Love, Okoro, Wade, Stevenson, Karis LeVert. They just got it down there, man. They got a deep team down there. And that's real talk. And yeah, Eddie, I remember that one, man. Brunson was killing my man in the playoffs last year. He dropped some. He was killing Donovan in the playoffs. He dropped 35 with him. Dropped 41 in one of them games. He was killing them dudes. I was like, man. So I think he'll bounce back tomorrow too. I think all of them bounce back tomorrow. This shows you whether your team going to be above average team or average team or a mediocre team. A game like tomorrow, I'll tell you, it's how they compete tomorrow, how they come out and compete. And if they win that, if they win that game, then this Milwaukee game didn't even happen. It'd be 1-1. It'd be 0. 1 win, 1 loss. Then they just got to take on the next 5 games and see what they can do coming with the 5. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward for the challenge tomorrow. These are all good challenges for the Knicks. Overall, you playing good teams out the gate. It tests your character, man. Tests your character, tests your grit, tests your will. It tests everything. How are we going to respond when we get a beat down? That's how you're going to respond. You got to get up off the canvas and get back on your feet and start throwing jabs. So let's see if the Knicks will get up tomorrow and throw jabs tomorrow, man, and get back at it, man. And I'm hoping that they do it. I think it's going to be fun. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at, man. Salute to Ellie Alvarez, Elton Lee, Paris Douglas. Salute Paris, my brother. Everybody, man. Marcus Blackman. Salute to you. Salute to the chat, man. Real talk. Everybody, man. D. Ross. Everybody, man. Let's do it, man. Raymond Benton. Salute to you, my brother. Real talk. Thank you for coming in. Y'all make sure y'all run them up with the thumbs up, man. Hit them like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Next Real Talk. Let's get it. We in the building. It's your man Divine. Shy Powers. He was in the house, but the brother, he taking care of some family things. So he showed some love. Came in for the first few minutes. Shy Powers. Appreciate you, brother. See them all on the pregame. Man, we get a popping tomorrow, 4:30. And I just look for the notification tomorrow, man. I know Giants got going out to Seattle tomorrow. It's gonna be a tough game for us. All you Giant fans in the building. We going out there to Seattle and Geno Smith playing good. He was an ex-Giant too. He is playing real good out there in Seattle, man. Since they got rid of Russell Wilson, and Geno Smith looked like he took another step up. Big game for the Giants tomorrow. They can go out there in Seattle and win that game, man. That would be impressive. Real talk, man. If they pull that off, that would be impressive tomorrow. New York Giants going there, and obviously, we got rid of Kadarius Toney. Got traded for a 3rd and 6th round pick. Kansas City. Now watch he go out there with Darius Toney go out there to Kansas City and light it up with my man with Patrick Mahomes. But it's all good though. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from these guys. Daniel Jones looking like, hey, listen, let Daniel Jones go up in there tomorrow and they beat them boys. If Daniel Jones don't go up in Seattle and beat them boys tomorrow, you're gonna have to put Daniel Jones up in the conversation for MVP because nobody thought that. I knew we were gonna be good this year. I mean, I got the receipts to back, to show and prove off the last stream that we talked about this. Like people sleeping on the Giants. I said at the beginning of the year, like they sleeping on that team. They still got a lot of requisite weapons that they had. They brought in my man Thibodeau. We playing without a jury ain't even healthy. You know what I mean? So I think these cats and we playing with no wide receivers basically. You know what I mean? So they got to go out there and go look at Judy. Go Judy and one of them cats more from Charlotte down here, the Panthers, Carolina Panthers. Go get one of them wide receivers, man. Maybe Galladay might be able to get it popping again. But and I think they should be all right. Wouldn't that be something? Elliot Alvarez, Daniel Lamar Jones, But yeah, man, listen, tomorrow we get a popping, man. We going up in Cleveland trying to fight hard again, scrap. And I get my predictions tomorrow on the pregame, and I analyze all my thoughts and all that stuff and see what's out there. But so far, so good. 3-2 on the season. Been a fun season so far. We played the creme de la creme. We just lost to them. We played two good teams. I mean, we lost to them. One of them, we only lost by 3 points in overtime. And the other last time we lost by 11. And because of who they were. But we've been playing them good though. We played pretty tight. He like you. That's facts. That's my man though. Lamar Jackson, the real deal. That defense. I'm surprised the way they playing down there. They need to go get Odell Beckham or somebody. Or let the Giants get. Hey, would y'all want Odell back in New York? That'd be nice. We need a wide receiver. But yeah, tomorrow I'm looking at a bounce back game for the New York Knicks. It should be live and lit up in Knicks Real Talk, man. You're right, Parrot. They got some athletic. That's that. What do you think is? What do you guys think going to be tomorrow? If Randall and them get off to a slow start, I would like to see Tiz pull them early until they get their head in the game. Or you got to put Obi in there. If these cats get off to a slow start, take them out. It's no big deal. Take them out for a minute. Let them recoup. Let them breathe, and then come back in. But if you got to get them, you got to get Obi and them cats some minutes, man. They earning it. It's not like I'm saying give it to them because we like them. They earn it. They earn it. Obi Toppin is really earning his minutes. I mean, the three ball look good. If y'all look at his 3-point ball percentage since the end of the season last year on up, Obi been shooting the ball pretty good. You know what I mean? That's so it's got to be that way. Wait, man. Hope Tibbs make some adjustments tomorrow and lean on your whole team. You know what I mean? If anybody ain't got a popping, and if you feel like RJ don't got a popping, take him out. Take him out. There's nothing wrong with taking a player out for a minute. I get they make $27 million, $25 million, $20 this million. I get it, but it's only a game, and sometimes you just need to take somebody out, let them get their mind right quick, and then come back in the game, and then maybe they can pick up where they left off at. Because but let's hope tomorrow, man, they're going up against a talented team again. They're going up against a tall front line, a talented backcourt. They got an all-star backcourt back there, literally. All right, Darius Garland made the all-star. Donovan Mitchell made the all-star. They going up against an all-star backcourt tomorrow. It's a big test for the New York Knicks tomorrow, and we just hope that they're ready and prepared to go in there and fight and compete and scrap and get back to the grittiness and just where don't worry about the Giannis game, don't worry about the Milwaukee Bucks game. It's over. It's over. Wash it out, get the bad taste out your mouth, and get ready for the game tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes, man. So listen, man, I'm about to get out of here, chat. And then I can get work on the stuff for tomorrow, and we get a pop man a pregame 4:30. We'll just look for the notifications, man, and notify me, man, and get at me, and we'll be ready to rock and roll tomorrow. Hopefully we have a better outcome tomorrow night. And all you guys who football team are playing, salute to the Jet fan. Jet playing good ball too. For all you Jet fans out there, salute to the New York Jets. They playing good ball. They are really getting it in. So salute to them, man. That's really impressive what So out doing over there down there with the New York Jets. They playing some good ball. Paris said, I'm feeling Hawkinstein against Cleveland. You know what? Hey, Paris, you know what I want to see? I want to see Mitchell Robinson and him play at the same time, just for a minute. Even against Mobley and them guys, against Mobley and Jared Allen, throw Mitchell Robinson and Hawkinstein. Hawkinstein can stretch the floor anyway, so you know what I mean, a little bit. And that's what I want to see Tibbs get back to like he did in the beginning of the year. So I start scrambling them rotations a little bit. He did a little bit of it last night, but out of because they wasn't playing well. But yeah, man, real talk, man. It should be fun, man. Yo, salute to the chat, Marcus, my brother. I see you, man. Il Matrix, I see you, my brother. Eddie Alvarez, I see you on the next one tomorrow night, man. If y'all in the building, we'll be in the building at 6:30. 4:30. I apologize. The game is at 6 o'clock tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. The Cleveland game tomorrow. So we'll be in there and get the popping, man. Next we'll talk. We'll be in the building. You know us. He got in there last night for a little minute. That's what I mean. Don't wait till you're getting blowed out to let these cats in, man. Let them get in there and get some burn, man. I know it's hard to do that when you got a lot of players who can need to play, but you got to fight. You got to sacrifice for something. So let's hope Tibbs have a better game plan tomorrow. But yo, salute to the chat. That's where it's at, man. Y'all guys have a great night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. That's in another 24 hours or something like that. But salute to Eddie, Fabian, Marcus, Elton Lee. Salute to the professor, man. All you Knicks fan, let's go. Salute to Parrish, my brother. Salute to everybody, man. Y'all keep it moving on. Have a great night, man. And I see you catch about D. Ross, Raymond Bentley. Salute to you, Raymond. Thank you for coming in, my brother. Real talk. Let me go down. I don't want to leave nobody out, but I don't have to. Nick 100 GM. Salute to you as always. Real talk, man. Like I said, my man White Falcon. Salute to you. 44. Let me keep going and see what I don't leave nobody out. I don't have to, because that's the chat. Is where it's at. Cash Out James, my brother. Salute to you as well. Everybody, man, who came in tonight. Will was in the building. I see Will in the building tonight. Everybody, man, let's go, man. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. It's your man Divine, Core Mega. It's my brother. Salute to you. Appreciate you as well. And everybody, man, listen, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you cats tomorrow. Knicks Real Talk. Let's get it. It's your man Divine. I'm out, man. Yo, peace, everybody. Peace.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ Events. This Real Talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with the click. That's the conglomerate. The Knicks Real Talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variants, dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, you straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in tempo as they cook my game plan. Let my brand for loop and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that's the things we ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We create the logo when there's airspace that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 dashes on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine on Mount Mars. Knicks Real Talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks Real Talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks Real Talk.
right here. Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks Real Talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks Real Talk.
We here.
Here we go,
in the
let's go.
building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it.